Hello, Stampers. Thanks for joining me today. This is Michelle. I have a pretty little card for you today, and this one is using the Winterly Treetops stamp set. Now, don't take this name as you can only use it in the winter, because I'm going to use it for the fall, and I don't know why you couldn't use it year-round. Really pretty stamp set. There are berries and leaves going in this one, and you could just change the colors of these things, and of course you have like a spring card or summer card. So I'm going to take you through this step by step today, and we're going to start with our main panel. And I have all the dimensions for this card down below this video. Just click more under the description and you'll see it there, along with all the product links. That'll take you directly to my online store where you can shop with me 24/7. Now, this piece of basic white is 3.5 by 4.5. And we're going to use it landscape, so it's longer this way. And we're going to start with a little directed paper. Now I'm going to use my Smoky Slate ink pad. And I'm just using this edge of the ink pad, and I'm going to have it at a tilt. Make sure you have it at a good tilt when you do this. Otherwise, if you have it more flat, it's just going to grab the paper and make a big blob on your cardstock. Now, I like to ink that little edge up, so I'm just going to take a re-inker here and just ink along that edge a little bit here. And that way I know I have some ink there. Now, if you have a brand new ink pad, you won't need to do that, but mine's pretty used. So I'm just going to turn this so that it's portrait this way. So I'm going to drag across this cardstock. Remember to have your ink pad at a tilt. And I'm just going to add some of this in the background. Now, this will look like trees maybe in the distance. Doesn't look like much now, but we're going to put some things over top of it. Okay, so we have that. And now I'm going to take a Memento Tuxedo Black pad here. And I'm just going to use like the corner of it. And again, I'm going to have this at a tilt. And I just want to make like a tree trunk here. It's okay for it to be uneven, but just kind of make sure that it is wider at the bottom than it is at the top, so it looks like a natural tree. Because if it's really wide up here and really narrow down here, it's not going to look like much of a tree, right? So there we have that. And then I'm just going to take this Memento Tuxedo Black and I'm going to stamp my birds. And I'm using the one with the 2 birds, that image. This is a great bundle too. It has a nice die set with it. If you want to pick that up for 10% off when you bundle the 2 up. I'm not using the dies today, but I'm going to put these birds on here so that the branch comes over to that tree trunk we just created. So see how I have that attached there. So there are our birds on there, super simple. And now we're going to do some coloring. I'm going to color that branch first, I believe. And I'm just going to get my dark basic black out here. And I'm using all the Stampin' blends for this project. So I'm going to just take my brush end here and color that branch in. So I've not been crafting for the past couple months because I'm recuperating from a total knee replacement. I've had lots of complications, which is never fun, but I think it's God's way of just telling me to slow down. That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it. So I'm glad to be back at my craft table. So this next color, we're going to use the dark cherry cobbler, and we're just going to color in our berries. I'm just going to use the brush end again. And I'm just doing a little circular motion here and coloring them in. Now you can leave a highlight. You can make these berries different colors. I decided just to make them red. These could be blue or orange. Orange would be pretty for this project too. Okay, so there we have that. I'm going to start on my bird here, and I'm going to start with the light peach pie. And I'm going to color in the whole belly of this little bird here. Bird's pretty cute. And you know what? This is a made-up bird. I'm just putting colors in. Nothing. I mean, you could make this a cardinal. You could make it, it has that little tuft on the top, so it could be a tuft titmouse. There's a lot of different birds with that little peak to its head. But, you know, I just make my birds up whatever color I want them to be. I don't really get hung up on it. I'm going to put some of this dark peach at the bottom of the belly and along that wing there. Right under the wing, like it's a shadow, and then along the bottom of the belly there. So that was the dark peach. Oh, let's get its beak too. I want to get the beak. Here we go. And now I'm going to bring in some smoky slate. I'm going to start with this light smoky slate. And I'm going to color the top of the wing and its head. You can go right over that eye. It's okay, because we're going to be putting some black in there too. And that is that. All right, let's bring in some light cherry cobbler. I'm going to take the light cherry cobbler and I'm going to do the bottom of the wing. Leave that gray showing at the top of it, and then I'm going to bring this right down the tail too. And now I'm going to put just a little bit in that peak. Just use the real fine tip to add that little color to the peak of its head. Now I want to put a black mask on this, so I'm going to use the dark basic black. And I'm going to make like a triangle here from its beak and color that in. So again, a little triangle. There we go. That's got a little mask. And I'm going to let that dry for a moment. But that's pretty much our bird right there. I think I'm going to go over the belly just a little bit more with this dark peach down here at the bottom. I like that bright orangey color here at the bottom of the belly. And then again on the little beak. You can layer these up if you want them a little darker. Just wait for them to dry and add another coat. And I'm going to take my basic black here, and I'm just going to layer this up and put a dot where the eye is. You can't see it much, but in real life you can see that dot there. So there is our bird. Done. How about that? So that was quick. That's a very quick background. And so you have all this behind it that looks like it might be woods back there with very little effort. So we have that done, and now we're going to start putting our card together. So I'm going to layer this main panel here up with a basic black panel that's just 1/8 of an inch larger. So this is 5 5/8 by 4 5/8. And I'm going to use my multi-purpose glue here, my favorite, but you can use any adhesive you like. So there we go. We got that all layered up there. And then I'm going to put this on a piece of peach pie that is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to center these up on here. Okay, we got that. And now I want some ribbon on here, and this is the black and very vanilla large check ribbon. Really pretty ribbon. And you can color this ribbon, and I'm just going to cut it a little longer than my panel here so I can tack it to the back. So I'm going to put it where I want it here, just along the bottom. And flip this over. And I'm just going to use some glue dots to adhere the ends to the back of this panel. Just make sure you really push down on that ribbon to tack it down into that glue dot. There we go. Now I'm just going to take another little piece of this ribbon and slide it under and just tie it once. There we go. And then I'm just going to trim the ends to where I want them. There is our ribbon on there. Super simple again. Okay, and then I have some punches here. And these are leaves from the Bough Punch. This punch is the Bough Punch. I have it written on the side. I cheat. And then it can punch this 2 different things out. And I'm just using 3 of these larger leaves, and they are punched out of peach pie cardstock. Now I want to color them a bit, just to make them a little more eye-catching. So I'm going to take my dark basic black here, and I'm just going to go down the stem with that black, just so it ties into my tree. Takes very little time to add some color to these punches, but boy, it makes such a big difference. So that is that. And then I'm going to take the dark peach pie, and I'm going to add that to the center of these leaves, just so they have a little two-tone here. You don't have to get all fancy with it. I'm just making sure there's some there in the middle. Because, you know, leaves, when they change colors, they don't have like a perfect little circle or anything. So just add some of that color there. I find the faster I color, the better it looks. Because it's more random. There we go. Oh, I forgot one thing on my bird. I wanted to add some of this yellow. So this is the Dark Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to add some of this yellow to the belly, kind of in the center, just to brighten it up. There we go. I knew I had that there for a reason. Okay, so now our leaves are ready to put on. And I'm going to add them with my multi-purpose glue also. Hey, if you see me shaking, don't be concerned. It's just the medication I'm on. Nothing like crafting while you're on pain medicine. Okay, so I'm just going to put this leaf on here so it looks like it's attached to the tree and it's going over the ribbon. That's our first one. And I'm just going down the stem and putting a little bit on each leaf. And I'm going to take these from the side of the card here. Let's see, let's put this one up a little higher here, like right there. And I'm going to bring it over to the edge there. And we got our third one here. This card goes together so quickly, but it looks like it just took you forever. Okay, so this one I'm going to have kind of coming off the cardstock there. And I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and make it even with the panel. And there are leaves on there. And I like that they kind of cover some of these images because it just gives you some depth in your card when you've got layers of images. Okay, so this is going to go on the front of our basic black card base here. Now this is 5.5 by 8.5, and I folded it in half to create my quarter card. And I'm just going to adhere this to the front. You could pop this up if you want to, if that ribbon bothers you, but it doesn't bother me any. So I'm just going to glue it on here. Here we go. I hear a siren outside, which is kind of odd. I live in a rural area. It's not my house, so we don't have to worry about that. There we go. There's the front of our card. And now I just have a piece of peach pie. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. So it's the same size as that peach pie one that you cut for the front. So just cut 2 of those. And we're going to add that to the inside of our card. There we go. And that is the inside of our card, and it's all ready for your sentiment. And there are a few in this stamp set. Sending thanks and much love, thinking of you always, a friend like you brings me happiness. Or you could use a multitude of different sentiments for the inside. That's why I love seeing cards, because you could use them for about anything. I have a little Wink of Stella. I forgot about that. I have a little Wink of Stella here, and this is the clear Wink of Stella. And I'm just going to add some to the leaves. I know you can't see this on camera. So frustrating that you can't see this clear glitter and how it shines. But I just add a little bit of that to my leaves just for a little bit of sparkle. I love Wink of Stella. And there you have it. Thank you for joining me today. Here is my finished card from earlier and the one I just made for you. And I hope you enjoyed this project and that you give it a try. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care. Toodles.